Thank you. Well, first I'd like to thank the university for inviting me and allowing me to participate in this meeting and share with you something that I'm, as you'll find out, extremely passionate about: corporate social responsibility, and specifically our unique CSR initiative that we call Alta Gracia. I was told that I have 10 to 15 minutes to speak with you about Alta Gracia, and I've never spoken for only 10 minutes about Alta Gracia in my life, but I'm going to do my best to keep us on track. So here's what I thought I'd share with you. First, my personal motives, why I'm doing this, and why I'm so passionate about CSR and Alta Gracia. Second, I thought I'd share with you some of the challenges that we faced in trying to launch this initiative and some of the challenges that we're still facing today. And last, I thought I'd share with you some of the results, what's happened. We're now in our second year of launching the Alta Gracia project, and I'll share with you how we've overcome some of the challenges and some of the challenges that we still have to overcome. So my personal story. The most frequent question that I have been asked when talking about Alta Gracia is, why are you doing this? And to explain that, I got to share some very personal stories with you. As was mentioned, I started Knights Apparel 11 years ago, and we've been very fortunate. Knights Apparel today, we've gone from a startup company 11 years ago to today we're the largest supplier of college apparel in the United States. It used to be Nike, Adidas, companies like that, and you know, that's no small feat for a startup to gain #1 market share when you have competitors like that. But along the way of building the business, I went through a series of tragic events that completely changed my life, and they changed my view of what I wanted to do with my life and what I wanted to do with my business. And I got to the point where just trying to compete for business, make money, and win market share was not enough. So everything I'm going to describe to you transpired in an 11-month period of time. The first tragic event that took place was the youngest of my 7 brothers and sisters was killed. He was so much younger than me that he actually lived with my wife and I when he was a kid. He was more like a son than he was a brother. Shortly after that, another family member passed away from cancer at 37, leaving 3 small children. And then shortly after that, one of my 3 children became extremely ill. And we went back and forth trying to find the correct diagnosis and try and get him help. And you know, he'd have hope. We'd find a doctor and they say, this is what we think it is. And he'd have hope, and it didn't work. We had the wrong diagnosis, and this one back and forth. And I remember he looked at me one day and he said, Dad, if you can't make the pain go away, I can't live like this. And eventually he gave up hope and tried to commit suicide. And shortly after that, I had another family member diagnosed with terminal cancer. She was given 6 months to live. And then 1 week later, I temporarily lost my vision and found out that I have an incurable disease called multiple sclerosis. Now, everything I'm describing to you, I'm sure there's not a person in this room that hasn't been impacted in some way through people they know, their family, with similar events. But there were so many things that happened in that short period of time, and it was the first time in my life that I felt fear. And it was not fear of becoming disabled. That's not what scared me. It was the first time that I felt the fear of, if I did become disabled, I wouldn't be able to support my family. What if not only I couldn't support them, what if I became a burden to them? It was the fear of, what if I couldn't save my son? And the good news for me, though, was I always had hope, because I had been blessed with the resources where I could go out and get the best medical care for myself and my family and try to find cures. I could take time off from work, and I didn't have to worry about losing my job or paying bills. And what it really, I can tell you, I always thought that I truly appreciated the things that I've been given. And I can tell you, I'm embarrassed to say that looking back on it, I don't think I fully appreciated what I had until I almost lost it all. And it really made me think even deeper about, Joe, what about people who are going through all of the same things that you went through, but they don't have hope? And I just couldn't imagine going through those things and knowing that maybe there is a treatment or cure for your son, but it's not available to me because I can't afford it? What if your wife was told she had 6 months to live, and her only goal was to live long enough to see her children graduate from school, and maybe there was no cure, but there was that treatment that could prolong her life, but not available to me because I can't afford it? And then it made me think about, what if on top of all of those things, you were struggling just to put food on the table, or be able to pay rent to have a roof over your family's head? And so all of those things made me ask the question, what can you do to provide hope for maybe someone who doesn't have it today? How could you use your business and what you do every single day? Is there a way that what you do every single day for a living could potentially have a life-changing impact on people that your business touches? So that's what led to the birth of Alta Gracia. And there is a business side to this, but those are the personal motives that, just having had those experiences, have made me so passionate about wanting to try it and use my business to make a difference. And that's what Alta Gracia is all about. Alta Gracia is about providing hope. It's about helping people free themselves from poverty through job creation, living wages, and education. And it's about providing a choice to the consumer for them to be able to know that through my purchase, through my purchasing decision, I have the ability to change someone's life through the purchase of a t-shirt. So that is the personal side of it. But obviously, in order for this to be sustainable, there's a business side of it too. So I thought I'd share with you some of the problems and challenges that we faced in trying to launch this initiative. The first challenge was financing. You can imagine when I went in to meet with my financial partners for the first time, and I said, hey, I got this great idea. Let's invest millions of dollars into launching a brand and building a factory. And the way that we're going to market this investment in this new brand, this new factory, isn't through proprietary designs or through celebrity endorsements. Our marketing strategy is that we're going to pay 360% higher wages than we're required to by law, and we're going to market this based upon the working conditions for the people that make it. Needless to say, it was an interesting conversation. So that was the first challenge. The second challenge was convincing retailers that they should take space away from well-established brands to give Alta Gracia a chance. Trying to convince the retailers that if you give this brand a chance and you take retail space away from established brands, there's enough consumers out there that care about wanting to purchase a product that's tied to a socially responsible cause that they care about, and it can be successful. It can be a successful business venture for you. Similar to that, the biggest challenge is getting then enough production capacity to fill the factory. And that's still our biggest challenge today. And I think the last challenge, in what will really determine the future of this initiative, is creating awareness. It's helping create awareness and help the consumer understand what really truly makes Alta Gracia different than any other apparel brand out there. How to do it simply, how to do it clearly, and how to be transparent and make them understand that this is real. There's no smoke and mirrors. This is real. When you purchase a t-shirt, you can change the people's lives, not just their lives, but their families and the community. So that awareness is a challenge. But with those challenges, here's where we're at today. Here's some of the progress that we have made. With the support of retailers like Follett, that's who runs the Georgetown University bookstore, and the support of universities like Georgetown. 1 year later, we're now into our second year with Alta Gracia. We have the product available in over 400 university bookstores. That's a major accomplishment for a new brand. Great news is the consumers have spoken, and they said, we do care. We will support it. The product is selling. We had one individual bookstore that purchased $250,000 of product for their first order. I mean, which is a huge commitment for one bookstore. And they've come out publicly and said not only is it meeting our expectations in terms of sales, but it's meeting our expectations in terms of profitability. It's doing good can also be good business. And most importantly, Alta Gracia is making, this is the real goal, it is making a life-changing difference in the lives of the employees at Alta Gracia and their families and the Alta Gracia community. The people who are making this at Collegiate Apparel can afford to feed their families. They can afford decent housing with a bathroom and running water. They can afford to send their children to get a school and education. Because into the wages, the living wage study that we did, we took into account how much money would an employee need to receive to be able to pay for all of life's necessities, not just for them as an individual, but their entire family, including in those wages, how much money would they need to make so they could send their kids to school and get an education so that they have an opportunity for a brighter future. Alta Gracia is creating hope. I'm glad that I'm going before Maritza and Elba, because usually when I get done listening to them, I have a hard time speaking, because it's just so personal to me. So I'll finish by telling you I've been in this business for 24 years, and this by far is the most rewarding project that I've ever been a part of, and I'm the one who feels privileged. I feel privileged that I've been given this business, that I get to be a part of something like this. So before I finish, the last thing I'd like to do is I'd like to thank some people that are here from Georgetown that have been absolutely incredible with their time and their resources in helping us make this initiative reality. That's John Klein, Ed Sewell, Ed's over there, and Lamar Billups. Your university is a special place, and the resources and time that these men in this university have given to us has just been absolutely incredible, and we couldn't be where we're at today without them. And we're a long way from being where we want to be. I mean, we've got a lot of work to do, but we're off to a great start, and I want to thank all of you for caring enough to come out and want to hear what's unique about Alta Gracia and what we're doing. And if I had a request, it would be simply to help us spread the word. Help us spread the word and let your peers know that there's this brand out there that's different. And through a simple decision of buying a Georgetown t-shirt, you have the ability to change someone's life. So thank you very much.